Today's video is more of a let's sketch together rather than an art tutorial because I'm not like an expert at drawing motorbikes, which we are going to be drawing today. So these are the sketches that I'll be drawing in a few seconds time. So motorcycles or motorbikes, they are quite challenging to sketch because there are so many different parts, so much details, and the way some motorbikes are parked makes it even more challenging to draw. So these are some photos that I downloaded from a website called Pexels. I think it's a free, royalty-free, copyright-free stock photo website. So take a look at this bike with so many details. Usually when we draw motorbikes in an urban sketching setting, the motorbikes are usually the secondary subject. They are usually not that important compared to the overall scene unless your scene is really on motorbikes. In this case here, this scene is actually on motorbikes, on traveling with motorbikes. This particular scene, if you're going to draw in real life, it's going to be very challenging because these bikes, they will be moving. So usually if I am drawing something like this, I will wait for the bike to stop, usually at a traffic junction, and then quickly draw one of the stationary bikes. Bikes, they are usually parked like one in front of another, so it's a bit difficult to differentiate the bikes sometimes, especially from the bikes in front to the bikes behind, such as the case here. And these are some parked bikes. I'll be drawing this because this is nice. You can see all the bikes from the front. This is another bike with the side and the front. So a motorbike is more recognizable when you look at it from the side because you can see the wheels. But if you take a look at, if you look at motorbikes from the back or from the front, it's not going to be as recognizable. But we all know how motorbikes look in our mind. We all have memories of motorbikes. So when we take a look at this abstract image like this, even if it's just a very cropped view like this, we will be able to recognize that it's a motorbike. Maybe I will draw this scene as well. It's a very typical scene with motorbikes parked on the street. Oh, okay, so this is the side view that I'm talking about. Now this particular bike, it's definitely way easier to draw because all the complicated parts are actually covered by all the metal pieces, the curved pieces here. This is nice, relatively easy to draw compared to other bikes. This is another foreshortened view. Let's start with a blank page. So there are two bikes. The bike on the right side is going to take up about half of this area here. I need to make sure I have enough space for the other bike on the left side, and I need to draw the one on the right side first because it overlaps the one on the left side. So let's make sure that we have enough space to draw this. I'm going to draw the biggest element first, which looks like the seat or the part below the seat. Okay. It would really help if you practice like contour drawing techniques. And when drawing a motorbike like this, it would be great if you don't think of this as a motorbike. Just think of the drawing as you are drawing lines. This fountain pen that I'm using, this is a Sailor fountain pen with a zoom nib. The lines are thicker so that you guys can see what I'm drawing. Okay, so this looks like the front, almost running out of space here. Okay, so this is where the knowledge of how a motorbike should look will come in to interfere with your drawing. So when you're drawing, you shouldn't think of drawing this as a motorbike. Okay, here I definitely have some mistake because this handle, it's above the seat, as in this handle here should be much higher compared to the seat. So when drawing, you should really concentrate. I am not a motorbike drawing expert, obviously. So I'm drawing this today because a sketch that I drew recently, it doesn't look that great. A street scene with some motorbikes on it, on it. It didn't look that great. And because there are so many parts to this bike, sometimes when drawing you can get lost. There are just too many lines. You forget what you are drawing. Okay. You do have to concentrate, really concentrate. And sometimes it may be better to draw fast so that you don't have time to think, and that sometimes may actually help you. When you don't have time to think, you just draw what you see. You don't stop and analyze, oh, this is a motorbike, it should look like this, it should look like that. Okay, the front, I am definitely running out of space, so I judged the size wrongly. But it's okay, I can go across the page. Okay, so this part here, it's a bit difficult with all the little parts. There are just too many little parts for this, for any motorbikes. Okay, where am I now? The wheels. Wheels are tough because you need to draw them as ellipses. Okay, another wheel here. Again, I think I strayed away from the photo. Very challenging, definitely very challenging. So if you want to draw something challenging, like if you want to challenge your mind, try and draw motorbikes. So for the other bike that is parked behind, I'm going to draw it with thinner lines. So I'm going to draw it with thinner lines. With some fountain pens, you can actually just turn the fountain pen nib upside down to draw with thinner lines. For this particular pen, I need to actually hold it more vertically to get the thinner lines. So maybe I should just draw really fast, so that I'm not too bothered by the details. And when I'm drawing fast, I'm using more of the contour drawing techniques. Okay. So usually when I see motorbikes, when I'm sketching outdoors, I have this fear of drawing them. And I usually leave them, I will not draw them first, I will leave them to the last minute to draw them, because these bikes, they take time to draw. And usually they are not the primary subject, so when sketching, it's best to draw the primary subject first. So if the weather changes, you can, at least you have the primary subject already drawn. Okay, this is the part where I'm sort of losing track of where I am again. Very challenging. This is, wow, there are so many pipes. One good thing about drawing bikes like this is the person who is looking at your sketch, he or she is not going to know how the original bike looks. So as long as your bike looks kind of like a bike, it's going to look like a bike. you don't have to like draw that accurately, but the shape has to be, I mean the shape still has to be kind of recognizable, because right now I am definitely straying from what the reference photo is showing me. Yep, very challenging because there are so many abstract shapes. Right, so earlier on I said I wanted to draw the bike on the left side with thinner lines, but I went ahead to draw with thicker lines, and now you can see there isn't much separation between the bike in front versus the bike behind. Also, when I take a look at the reference photo, I can see where I have strayed away. You can see this wheel here. If you take a look at the reference photo, this wheel is actually much like higher compared to this wheel due to the perspective. Let's write some text here for the license plate number. I think this still looks kind of alright. For the next sketch, let's draw the many bikes that are parked side by side. Now, usually when drawing those bikes on paper, they will take up like very small area. So here I'm going to draw them like really small. So let's practice some simplification. I'm going to start with the white colored bike first. Okay, so we have the front, and this is the mirror. I find that if you draw the side mirrors here, the bike will immediately look like a bike. So the side mirror is actually quite important. The front, and of course the wheels will also make the bike recognizable. Okay, let me just move this to the top here. Okay, we have some lights here. This looks like it's vertical. So if we are going to be drawing bikes in real life, you will be able to see the wheels more clearly because your eyes can see details that the camera cannot see. I mean, your eyes are definitely more sensitive than what the cameras can capture. Okay, so we have one bike parked here. For the other bike, let's draw it a bit faster so that this video is not like that boring. Or maybe this video is kind of boring. Okay, so this bike here, it's very sketchy. Okay, we have this suspension for the bike. Okay. I wonder if this bike, if it's looking more recognizable. Anyway, with the mirrors, I think it looks recognizable. So this here, it's the back of the bike, the side of the bike. Okay, so we have a second parked bike. So you see this part here, it should be black. In the photo it's black, but here I left it as white because I'm not able to see what's here exactly. I can use this black brush pen to fill this up. And this will also make the shapes much stronger. So let me just block out some of the blacks, or maybe for the wheels as well. Okay, this definitely, having the blacks here definitely helps a lot. So this brush pen is the Kuretake Cambio brush pen. You can use any brush pen, of course. Pentel brush pen, Pentel pocket brush, Pentel color brush pens. There are so many different brush pens out there, different brands of brush pens out there. So once I block in the black, you can see the motorbikes, the form starts to appear because now there is light and shadow. Okay, I think it looks alright. So initially I wanted to draw those bikes really small, but somehow I drew them too big. So now with this limited space here, I have no choice except to draw the bikes really small. So now let's draw some tiny bikes. So now it's really about simplification. Okay, I'm starting to draw bigger again. Sometimes I find that I have this tendency to draw bigger and bigger. So sometimes when I'm drawing, I may actually run out of space to draw on my page. So before drawing, it's good to mark down some of the important proportions first. Okay, this part here seems to be like this. Okay, so I think this bike, it's almost complete. Let's put a basket, a carrier behind the bike. Right, I think it looks recognizable. At least the wheel is recognizable. Let's try and draw another one. Let's make this even smaller. Okay, wow, this is very challenging. So this is what I have so far. This looks better than this too because of the blacks. So I may actually want to use the gray to add some colors. Now I can use black. So for the black, we shall paint the underside of the bike here. So see, once I add the blacks, the form really starts to appear. So these are my motorbike sketches. I also added another quick sketch here. This sketch here was drawn really quickly, really sketchily. I just want to get the shapes of the bikes. So it looks like this. The bikes that are parked here, a bit difficult to see that they are bikes, but if you look closely, maybe you can recognize them. Right, thanks for watching, and let me know in the comment section below what kind of subjects do you find challenging to draw. Right, see you guys in the next video. Bye!